Welcome to Psychology Demystified. Today's video focuses on likability. A lot of people make friends and have acquaintances on social media, so they don't actually get to know whether people genuinely like them. So the question is, how can I make myself more likable? Before we jump into ways to make yourself more likable, one thing that I need to put out there is a fact. And the fact is that not everyone in your life is going to like you. But you know what? That is not your problem. We all have different levels of social skills. Here are some ways that people can be characterized. There are people who are naturally charismatic and they endear themselves to others easily. There are also people who might be outgoing, but then a little socially awkward. Some people might be shy or introverted, or they find some social interactions just a lot of work and something that doesn't reap a lot of rewards. In other words, being looked at or perceived as likable is more important to some people than to others. So it's important for you to know that because there are different variables when it comes to likability. Some want it more than others. Another thing to know is that likability sometimes is not up to us. There are more things to consider. And these are your context, where you are, your role or your function within a particular group, the people around you, how much you have in common with them. Even their biases versus yours come into play. And that's just a few of the factors that all determine whether you're considered likable. And in the same breath, no matter how likable you are, there are some people who will never warm up to you. They just never will. And their reasons as well may vary. They might be opposed to you because of your lifestyle. They might be opposed to you because of your culture or your choices. Maybe you rubbed them the wrong way one time or another and didn't know. They might have their own grudges or resentments that you're completely unaware of. Or they can just be people who are difficult and whose minds cannot be changed, and they made a snap decision about who you are before they got to know you and are stuck with that perception. So yes, some of the things I may talk about today may increase your likability, but they won't make you appealing to all people all the time. With all that said, here are a couple of things that could make you more likable. I've categorized them into 10. Of course, that's not all of them in the world, but I think 10 will do for today. Number 1, start by being a better listener. People like to be listened to. To be a good listener, you have to actually listen to what someone is saying without waiting for them to finish so that you can jump in with your own story. And when you're also listening, there are things that show that you're listening. Something like a head nod or an or yeah, keep going. There are many cues that you can give to show that you're actually paying attention. Number 2, be supportive. When someone comes to you and says, oh my gosh, I had to work all weekend and I'm so exhausted. Yeah, the temptation might be to joke and say, yeah, but then that's why you get paid the big money. But instead of saying that, how about sympathizing with them and saying, oh, that totally sucks. They want to feel like you are not only listening, but going the extra mile to empathize with them and show them support. If someone comes to you telling you about something they achieved, yeah, offer congratulations. If someone comes and they show you this with excitement, then yes, reflect excitement. If someone comes to you telling you about something sad, absolutely offer sympathy. Show support, no matter what. That show of support goes a long, long, long way. Number 3, follow up. If someone tells you that they're sick, follow up, find out how they're doing. Did they get better? If someone tells you about an exam that they were worried about, find out how it went. If someone tells you that they had a vacation that they were going to. Find out how that vacation was. When someone gives you information about their lives, following up shows that not only did you listen, but you cared enough to comment and you cared enough to find out how things went. And that can significantly increase your likability points. Number 4, find common ground. Having similar hobbies or tastes or opinions or goals might help you to connect in ways that will make both of you like each other more. And that increases your likability factor. Number 5, utilize body language. Most times, without noticing it, we take note unconsciously of other people's body language toward us. If they nod when we're talking, or they directly look at us when we're speaking, or they smile at us, then we tend to make a connection with them that is nonverbal. And that, in some ways, allows you to feel like there's something that binds you and makes you more likable in their eyes because you seem interested. Number 6. This is very hard for some of you, but put your phone away. Put the phone away. Put the phone away. All we're asking is to just put it in your pocket, put it in your bag, or if you're sitting across from someone and you're listening to them, just turn it over so that your eyes are not always moving to the phone. When you steal glances at your phone when someone else is talking, it immediately signals disinterest. I'd rather be somewhere else. I'm more interested in the person who's getting in touch with me than being with you. It just signals I'd rather be somewhere else rather than here. So just so that it doesn't seem like you're not listening, you put your phone away, even if they don't, and give them your full attention. Number 7, don't over-complain. Don't complain too much. Sometimes we find common ground with someone because we complain about a certain thing and we agree on that complaint. But having nothing but complaints does not endear you to other people. If you want to come across as more likable, you need to complain less and come across as more positive. Someone who people want to be around because they know that you're always looking at a glass as half full as opposed to the half empty. Oh, why is this? Oh, there's traffic, there's this. You don't want to be the one who is known as the habitual complainer, because then people will start to avoid you because you're always in a sour mood and then you bring their mood down with you. Try not to dominate the conversation. You might be the funniest person in the room. You might be great at conversations. You might be amazing on the stage when all the lights are on you. But other people also want stage time too. It's important, therefore, for you to take note of how much time you're speaking in comparison to everyone else in the group that you're in. Remember that even if people enjoy your stories and laugh every time you speak, eventually they'll start to notice that there's an imbalance in the conversation because your voice ended up being heard the most all the time, every time. Number 9, don't brag or even humble brag, because they're the same thing. It's still bragging. When people know you and they know the inner workings of your life, talking about an achievement may be okay. But of course, you also have to see how much you talk about that achievement. The other thing is, if you're meeting people for the first time, don't try and show them how awesome you are and how different you are the first time they meet you, because then you come off as showy and showboating and your likability factor goes down. Number 10, keep your disagreements to a minimum. Most times people don't enjoy hanging around someone who likes to play devil's advocate, where everyone else is chiming in a positive manner about something, but then you always have something different to say. If a group of people are talking about a movie that they loved, and they talk about all the parts they loved about it, don't chime in by being the one who says, that movie was so horrible. You don't want to be that person who is wanting to start a disagreement every single time. Sometimes people just want to sit and agree. That doesn't mean that you're just agreeable to everything. You don't want to be someone who's, goes with the wind. But, of course, you want to have your own opinions. But there are times to disagree and then there are times to agree. So you have to pick and choose your moments so that you're not always that person who is on the opposing team and who everyone doesn't want to talk to something about because they know full well that you're going to come in with your reverse opinion that they're not interested in hearing at that particular time. So pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your moments. So in summary, being likable boils down to a couple of things. And they are being agreeable, making people feel comfortable and welcome around you, making people feel accepted, making them feel understood, and making them feel valued. And those are 10 things in a nutshell that can work towards making you more likable, knowing that people are not templates and there'll be someone somewhere who, no matter what you do, will not like you for one reason or another that often has nothing to do with you. Just keep those 10 things in mind, and when you're in doubt about what to say, then just say less. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to everyone you see because you don't know what they're going through. And hugs and kindness to you always. Bye.